obviously that's not a loving and forgiving God. Okay, so it's, in my mind, being a kid, it was a lie. I just knew it was a lie. And reincarnation is not new. Many of the different cultures have talked about it. And in order to mature the soul, you would need more than one lifetime. What do we live on average on this earth? Most people. 45, 50 years for the average. In the United States it's 72, I think, 73. But outside the country it's a lot less. And that's it. That's your window. Please. So, everybody has their own perspective on it, and absolutely everyone is entitled to their own perspective on it. I know that reincarnation is a fact, and I'm encouraged by the fact that it is a fact, that we get multiple lifetimes to figure things out, to learn it all, to learn specific lessons. Now, what does that look like when creating a family to come into? I don't have those answers, Rick. I don't. I did ask the question once, where do souls go when they die? And I was told that if there was a physical place, it would be near the Van Allen belt, where that is. That's what the A's had told me, but that's all the information they ever gave me about it. So, and that's all I know.
Now, in regard to human evolution, you've said that we must make the conscious decision not to spread hate. Why is this so important?
Well, what's hate? It's a lack of love. It's a lack of love. And a lack of love is destructive. It disintegrates things. If you look at some of the earlier notes where the Andromedans have talked about traveling through space, throughout our galaxy, and discovering cultures who had reached advanced maturity that had actually destroyed themselves because they lost their original intent. And I believe that the original intent is learning to totally and unconditionally not only love oneself, but love all. When you lose focus of that, things just begin to disintegrate perpetually, because you continue to justify creating a space of fear. And do love and fear exist in the same space? No, they don't. They're actually polarities, opposite polarities. So, many of the advanced extraterrestrial races have figured that out.
And so, even if there was an opposing ET regressive race, they would do their best not to hate them.
Yes. Yes.
You've said that in this age that it's so important to know your neighbors. You've said that in your recent meeting with the Andromedans that your faith and friendships was reaffirmed. Why is friendship and why associate with neighbors, why is it so important, especially now, in these times? And let's end it with this question.
I've been blessed to have an off-world perspective of Earth. And it's a very tiny little planet compared to some of the others that are out there that have life on them. We are a community of people all living together, sharing a very, very small space. Okay? On a ball of water and land that is traveling through space. It is such a miracle, such a gift. If you could see it from that perspective. The reaffirming of friendship was, how I had not seen them in a very, very long time. And that initial reconnecting was if we had never been apart. And that when you're, we've all experienced that here on Earth, where we have had friends who we've never seen or we haven't seen for years and years and years, and then you either accidentally bump into them or something, and it's just like it's like you hadn't been apart. The conversation, the friendship picks up exactly where it left off. those are gifts. Those are absolute moments of grace. And they should not ever be taken for granted. Because those relationships not only mirror back our own goodness and bring us joy and laughter and sharing, but they help complete us, and reaffirm, our purpose and see good in people every day. And then, that's something I think we need to do, is we need to really focus on looking for the good that's in every day. I read the news every day. I know what's happening in the world, and sometimes it terribly gets me down and frustrated because I don't know what to do to fix the problem. Guys, we try to solve problems, right? We're wired that way. But at the same time, if the kids start laughing about something, it changes my perspective. It brings me joy. It makes me, it brings me back, to what really is important. And I think, what we started off this interview with, what's really important. These are the things that, humanity as a whole really needs to be focusing on. It can't be about money. I'll never forget the time that I did this presentation regarding money to Mornay and Faceas, because they asked me to. And when the whole thing was over, and I spent a great deal of time putting together this presentation. Of course, I was naive because I figured, well, they didn't really know, they didn't understand. But of course they knew. They've been studying us for a long time. And when the whole thing was over, Mornay was very grateful. And Faceas just looked at me and he goes, I don't understand. And I go, well, what is it that you don't understand? And he just looked at me and he said, I don't understand why you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on. And then, it's such a simple question, and it's haunted me ever since. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Ask yourself that question. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? And who are we actually paying for the privilege of being alive here? Who made them the boss? Who put them in charge? Think about that.
Alex.
And have a rum and coke. I'm kidding.
Thanks so much for spending the time with me today, and with all the people that are going to get to be able to see this. And we all thank you in advance. And we thank you for everything you've done in the past, sharing all your experiences. And a lot of us recognize the pain and sacrifice that you've gone through in sharing this. And we all just want to remind you that we really appreciate it and thank you.
Peace out.